Hello everyone, welcome to the science class with Miss Samra. Today we are going to learn about living things and non-living things. If we look around us, we see lots of different things. Some are living things and some are non-living things. But how do we identify them? How do we know if something is a living thing or not? Let's think about it. Can you tell me a difference between living things and non-living things? Yes, things that have life are living things and things that do not have life are non-living things. Let's see some examples. Here, plant is a living thing. Animals, they are living things, and human, they are also living things. Let's see some examples of non-living things. Can you come up with some answers? Alright, let's see my answers. Chair, ball, umbrella. These are some of the non-living things, but there are many more things which are living and non-living. Scientists came up with a very easy way to identify living things and non-living things. We need to ask ourselves 5 simple questions. 1. Do they move? 2. Do they grow over time? 3. Do they breathe? 4. Does this object need food and water to survive? And last, does this object reproduce? Let's see. Let's look at these 2 examples and see if we can answer the 5 simple questions. So here I have a plant and a rock. So let's ask the questions. Let's see. Does the plant move? Now that's a tricky question. Does the plant move on its own? Think. Yes, it does. So plants actually move toward the sun. Do you notice when you keep the plant near the window, it leans outward? It leans out of the window. That's because the plant is moving toward the sun. So that's how plants move. Even the sunflower, it moves along with the sun, facing the sun, right? So plants and all living things, they move. Now second question, does this object grow? Do you think plants grow? Yes, of course. They grow starting from a small little plant and then they grow into a big huge tree, right? Now third question, does this object breathe? Do you think plants breathe? Yes, it does, but not like our humans and animals, but still plants also breathe. They take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen, right? Now, does this object need food to grow? What will happen if you don't give plant food? Do we feed them? No, right? The plants get all their food from the soil. So they have lots of nutrition they take in from the roots so the plant can grow healthily. Last, does this object reproduce? Reproducing is having babies. Now, does plants have babies? Yes, they also grow new plants, right? We can grow new baby plants from seeds. So plants will get fruits or flowers from which a new plant will grow. Now let's ask the same questions about the rock. Now, does this object move? Do you think a rock can move on its own? No, right? A rock, if I place the rock here, it will stay here until I move it. The rock can't move on its own, right? So the rock does not move. Does this object grow? Do you think rock will get bigger and bigger over time? No, right? The rock won't grow, it will stay as it is. Third question, does this object breathe? Do you think rocks will breathe? No, right? Does this object need food? Do rocks need food? No, they don't. And last question. Does this object reproduce? Does rocks have babies? No, right? So if an object does not do all these things, we say they are non-living things. And if an object does all these things, they are living things. That's an easy way to identify living things and non-living things, right? Okay, let's do an example and see if we can identify whether the ball and the giraffe, they are living or non-living. So I have all the 5 questions written here and ticks and cross here. So once we ask each question, we will put a tick or cross. Okay? So let's ask the first question about the ball. Does the ball move on its own? Can it go from one place to another? No, right? So we put a cross. Now the second question. Does the ball grow? Does it get bigger and bigger over time? No. Third question. Do balls breathe? Do they need air to survive? Of course not. Now fourth question. Do they need food? Do we feed our balls? No, right? Last one, do they reproduce? Do they have babies? No. Let's ask the questions about the giraffe. Does the giraffe move? Can they go from one place to another? Yes, they can walk or run, right? Now, do they grow? Does the baby giraffe grow into a big, huge, tall giraffe? Yes, they do. Do they breathe? Do they need air to survive? They do breathe, right? Do they need food? Of course, they eat grass and leaves from lots of different types of trees, right? Now, do they reproduce? Does the giraffe have baby giraffes? Of course they do. So, for ball, we have all cross signs, right? They do not move, they do not grow, they do not breathe, they do not need food, and they do not have babies, so they do not reproduce, right? So that means ball is a non-living thing. And for giraffe, we have all check marks. They move, they grow, they breathe, they eat food, and they reproduce. So that means giraffe is a living thing. Let's do one more example. This time I have a human or a boy and a chair. So this time I want you to pause the video and find the answers on your own. You can draw the table in your book and put tick and cross accordingly. Okay, once you are done, you can play the video and check the answers. Did you get all the answers correct? Here's my answers. Let's check it together and see if we have the same answers. The boy, he moves, he grows, he breathes, he needs food and he reproduces. That means boy is a living thing. The chair do not move, do not grow, they do not breathe, it does not need food even, and they definitely do not reproduce. So that means the chair is not a living thing. So now on the screen you will see a link. I want you to click the link and it will open a quiz. I want you to try and do the quiz. So it will give you a lot of practice in identifying living things and non-living things. I hope you all will try the quiz. That will be all for today. Bye everyone.